Baruch Hashem, today is day number 104 of our daily study of Rambam, Sefer, HaMitzvos. And Mazel Tov, because we're finishing Hilchos Shchita and chapters 12, 13, 14 in the 3 chapters a day of Mishnah Torah. And our mitzvah today is Positive Commandment 148, and it is a continuation of the mitzvah that we learned yesterday. If you remember, yesterday we learned Negative Commandment 306, which was not to take the eggs or the baby birds while the mother is there in the nest. Well, here's Positive Commandment 148, which is to shoo away the mother bird. And then you can take the eggs or the baby birds. It's interesting. There's a discussion about what is the purpose of this mitzvah? What is the meaning of this mitzvah? There is a teaching of our sages in the Mishnah that says if a person says in his prayers, basically praising Hashem for being so merciful that he is even merciful upon the birds in the nest, that he commands us to shoo away the mother bird so she doesn't have to be there to experience the anguish of her eggs being taken. If somebody says such a prayer, he is silenced. We silence him because it's a heretical prayer, meaning to say you should not attribute compassion or mercy to this mitzvah. So it's interesting because the Rambam discusses this in his commentary on the Mishnah and explains it very logically and says the reason you can't attribute compassion to this mitzvah is because if you really wanted to be compassionate, then you would just prohibit taking the eggs at all, or for that matter, prohibit shchita and eating animals. And if you want to be really compassionate, just be vegan. So the fact that Hashem says, shoo away the mother bird in order to take the eggs, doesn't really make sense to praise Hashem for the compassion of that mitzvah. Rather, this mitzvah is a chayk. It is a supra-rational decree that has no logic that conforms to limited mortal thinking. But in Meira HaNevuchim, in the Guide to the Perplexed, also by the Rambam, he actually says that, and this is consistent with the Rambam's general approach to chukim and supra-rational decrees. The Rambam says, although, yes, it is a supra-rational decree, it transcends intellect. However, to whatever extent it's possible, we should seek to appreciate reasons for all of the mitzvahs. And so in this case, the Rambam says in the Meira HaNevuchim that you can learn something from this mitzvah, which is that if we shoo away the mother bird so that she does not experience the anguish of watching her eggs taken from her nest, then how much more so should we be compassionate on our fellows? And we can learn that lesson from that mitzvah, although that's not ultimately the reason for the mitzvah. The mitzvah is above our capacity to understand. Okay, we have finished Hilchos Shchita, and we have finished the book of Kedusha. We have finished another one of the 14 books of Mishnah Torah. Mazel Tov. We're going to be starting a new book tomorrow called Haflah, and you're going to find out what that's all about tomorrow, God willing.